What's up, guys? It's Jim with Awaken TCG, bringing you guys another video today. And today, a little bit late, but we are going to talk about the final two leaders introduced for the set OP09, coming out very soon in the East. Should be coming out, I think, at the end of August, but now we finally have our last two leaders here. We knew what they were going to be, considering we were still missing two Emperors, and here they are in blue. Buggy and red Shanks. So obviously these are kind of what we expected. Out of the four leaders we already saw, neither of them were actually blue or red. So I kind of already assumed Buggy was going to be some sort of blue, Shanks was going to be some sort of red. Here they are, they're just both monocolor. But let's get into their effects, because some have been saying they're a bit lackluster, especially for a set this big and this hype. Just a bit underwhelming is what people have been saying, but let's make our own assumptions and see what we've got going for us. So, Buggy is going to be a 5 life, 5,000 power slash leader with the Yonko and Cross Guild type. So Cross Guild is a brand new type, obviously after Cross Guild, which Buggy makes once he becomes an Emperor. There are no Cross Guild cards in the game right now, so let's see what he does. It is going to be activate main. You may rest 5 Dawn and discard 1 card from your hand. So pretty big cost. And then it is going to be play up to 1 character with the Cross Guild type from your hand. This is any character of any cost. As long as it has the Cross Guild type, you can play this character out. So as I said before, there are no Cross Guild characters in the game right now. Not one in the game. Which means this is going to be a bit reliant on its support, right? Because literally we need all the new cards to be playable, right? This leader effect isn't going to do anything if we don't have at least like 3 new really good cards that are good off this effect. I would say even a 6 Dawn card that's pretty good would not be worth using this effect. Trashing 1 card is a really big ask. So if you have to play a 6 Dawn card for 1 less Dawn, that's great, but at the cost of trashing a card, I don't really think so. Probably not worth it, which means we're going to somehow need to get probably around 3 new cards that are 7 to 10 cost range, which all have the Cross Guild type. Now, do I think that's likely? Probably not. For new archetypes, we usually don't get that many like game-breaking cards that make a deck work and turn. So unfortunately, I think this leader is in a rough spot. He's going to need some fantastic support. Like, obviously, he's going to get his SR like every leader does. Besides Calgara, of course. Because if Buggy got the Calgara treatment, this leader would be unplayable. Calgara became playable even due to his lackluster support, because his leader effect only costs 1 Dawn. It's when attacking, so it's technically no cost at all because it's an attached Dawn. And then it also allows you to draw a card from life. Sure, you're taking life, but you are drawing a card. You're not trashing a card like Buggy is. So this is a lot different of ability. You're resting these 5 Dawn and you're trashing a card, which is nowhere near as good as Calgara, which means Buggy's going to need really, really, really good support in order to be played. But enough of the bad. Let's talk about the good. If he does get really strong cards, say 9 or 10 cost, playing that out on 5 Dawn on curve is going to be busted. It's depending on how good these cards are. Yeah, playing out that big of a card on that low of a Dawn total is going to be insane. Not to mention, if you haven't noticed, this does not say once per turn, which means 5 Dawn, we can do this twice at 10 Dawn, right? So if we do get these 9 or 10 costs at 10 Dawn, sure, we have to get rid of 4 cards out of hand, but we just play down 2 9 or 10 costs for our turn, so that's going to be pretty busted. But again, this is a really hard leader to evaluate without seeing any of the support, so I'm going to stop talking about him. Let's get into our next leader, which I think most people have said is pretty lackluster. Unfortunately, it is going to be Red Hair Shanks himself is a red leader, because of course he is. He's going to be a 5 life, 5,000 power standard monocolor leader with the Yonko and Red Hair Pirates type. So it's going to be once per turn, you may activate this effect when your opponent attacks. Give up to one of your opponent's leader or characters, power minus 1,000 for the turn. Now that is possibly one of the lamest abilities ever printed on a card. Obviously this is, I think, supposed to mimic his Conqueror's Hockey in the show, right? You're like intimidating your opponent. But, you know, give us a little more than that. Like, we get a free 1k every turn, sure. This allows us to, you know, early game when you want to play on curve and swing 5, now your opponent can't do that. So, you know, that makes it pretty decent. Like, you get a free 1k counter every turn. That's not a bad ability, but that's not an ability that's really going to let you win the game. And red as a color at this stage in One Piece's lifespan is not that strong, like, generically. Which means I think we're going to also need to get some really good Red Hair Pirates cards, or just some really new good red cards, because right now red just is not good enough, unfortunately, especially for a leader like this. So I think the only leader I would even play this like over starter deck Luffy, I'd say starter deck Luffy's better than this. Like, attaching 1 Dawn every turn is probably better than giving minus 1,000 power on your opponent's turn every turn, in my opinion. I could be wrong on that. But obviously, if Shanks gets these, you know, red hair locked cards, you know, like Beck, maybe they get like a really big Beckman card, really big Shanks card that's like leader locked red hair pirates. Yeah, that could be really strong, and then that could give us a reason to play this leader over any other red leader, even though people weren't really playing red leaders to begin with, besides maybe Zoro and OP08 with the new Animal Rush variant. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of these two leaders in the comments. I am of the camp that I'm going to wait to see their support. They are not strong on paper, I don't think. Really do need to see the cards they come with. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. This has been Jim with Awaken TCG. I'm going to head out of here. Peace.